Welcome, everyone. As we explore this morning Black Lives Matter and police brutality, I warn you that the sermon is actually a homily, which is the church way of saying a short sermon. Our opening words are from Mark Morrison Reed. The title is The Task of the Religious Community. The central task of the religious community is to unveil the bonds that bind each to all. There is a connectedness, a relationship discovered amid the particulars of our own lives and the lives of others. Once felt, it inspires us to act for justice. It is the church that assures us that we are not struggling for justice on our own, but as a member of a larger community. The religious community is essential, for alone our vision is too narrow to see all that must be seen, and our strength too limited to do all that must be done. Together, our vision widens and our strength is renewed.
For too long by fear divided, we have settled with the sword. Quarrels which should be decided by the reconciling word. Now our nations are united, though as yet in name alone, and the distant goal is sighted, which the prophet souls have shown. May at last we cease from warring, barriers of hate remove, and earth riches freely sharing, found the dynasty of love.
We, the member congregations of the Unitarian Universalist Association, covenant to affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person and the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. For our joys and sorrows this morning, I'd like to drop the first stone for all of us with what's going on in the world and how we're trapped in our homes. This from Abigail Dreschler. My mother fell as she was moving out of her rental condo in Augusta a few weeks ago. She has broken her shoulder blade and a rib. Please keep her in your thoughts as she recovers back in Florida. From Barbara Bowen and Castilia and Aaron Kiss, we would like to share with all of you our joy that despite the challenges of the quarantine and the closing of school, Aaron has completed all the requirements necessary to attend Augusta University as a full-time college student this fall. We know that her church family will be just as proud of her as we are, and will continue to help support and encourage her as you always have as she embarks on this new adventure. And the last stone is for all of us in this country and in the world. May we find peace and understanding amongst ourselves. Whatever we can give, all our efforts to the church, both big and small, all is needed to do the work of this congregation. The offering will now be received, and if you wish to give to the church, the link will be on the screen. The years of all of us are short, our lives precarious. Our days and nights go hurrying on, and there is scarcely time to do the little that we might. Yet we find time for bitterness, for petty treason, and evasion. What can we do to stretch our hearts enough to lose their littleness? Here we all are, all of us, all upon this planet bound together in a common destiny, living our lives between the briefness of the daylight and the dark. Kindred in this, each lighted by the same precarious flickering flame of life, how does it happen that we are not kindred in all things else? How strange and foolish are these walls that divide us. I don't know how eloquent I can be about the recent racism and police brutality in our country. It's all too emotional for me right now. I am weary, frustrated, disgusted, and frankly, I'm scared for our nation. We will have to repent in this generation, not merely for the hateful words and actions of the bad people, but for the appalling silence of the good people. This quote is an excerpt from a letter that Martin Luther King Jr. wrote in a Birmingham jail on April 16, 1963. 57 years later, the white supremacy beat goes on. Ahmaud Arbery in Brunswick, Georgia, Breonna Taylor in Louisville, and George Floyd in Minneapolis, all murdered by police. Black lives matter. Our silence is killing the dream of America. This from Jane Elliott, known for her brown eye, blue eye experiment in 1968. If you, and I quote, if you, as a white person, would like to be treated the way black people are in this society, please stand. Nobody is standing here. That says very plainly that you know what's happening. You know you don't want it for you. I want to know why you are so willing to accept it or allow it to happen for others. Black lives matter. Our silence is killing the dream of America. How can we hear the words, "I can't breathe," and do nothing? Dear white people, this is our problem. The culture of white supremacy is killing the dream of America. I confess that at times I want to look away from the violence, the hatred, the darkness. But even having that choice is a testament to my privilege. No matter how much I want to, I cannot feel the depth of what African Americans are feeling right now. I have never experienced what it's to be like to be a black person in America. But I do know what I saw on the television was nothing less than a modern public lynching, as if the victim was subhuman. Black lives matter. Our silence is killing the dream of America. What is happening to us as a nation? Aren't we all on the same team? Isn't everyone on that team important? Don't we have each other's back? When will we insist on justice and equality for everyone? When will we insist on justice and equality for everyone? Black lives matter. Our silence is killing the dream of America. People, get ready. There's a change coming. The young people protesting in the streets is a hopeful sign, but is change actually coming? I pray that it is. But it will require us older white people to understand at a new level. And to understand, we must listen. We need to stand up for what is right. We can no longer tolerate racism and social injustice in our country. What we need now is a new birth of freedom and the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Amen.
We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives.
Our closing words are from St. Francis of Assisi. Where hate rules, let us bring love. Where sorrow, joy. Let us strive more to comfort others than to be comforted, to understand others than to be understood, to love others more than to be loved. For it is in the giving that we receive, and in the pardoning that we are pardoned.